Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're going to uncover how a simple, limited edition purple milkshake morphed into this wildly unpredictable global internet phenomenon. I mean, if you were anywhere online during the summer of 2023, you absolutely could not escape the Grimace Shake. But how exactly did a promotional fast food drink become the centerpiece of a massive user-generated horror universe? Well, that's exactly the fascinating story we are breaking down today.
Okay, let's just dive right in by asking the big question that was on literally everyone's mind when this first exploded. Did one of the largest fast food chains on the planet actually orchestrate a marketing campaign featuring gruesome, staged crime scenes? It sounds completely crazy, right? But the sheer scale and coordination of this trend was so impressive that millions of people were legitimately wondering if some genius marketing exec was secretly pulling the strings from behind a Golden Arches curtain.
To really grasp the sheer scale of the Grimace Shake incident, we just need to look at one staggering number: 3 billion. That is the number of views the Grimace Shake hashtag racked up on TikTok in just a matter of weeks. The trend generated millions of engagements, it was the top trend on Twitter for 8 days straight, and it just completely took over the internet.
But to really understand why this blew up the way it did, we have to rewind a bit and look at Grimace's surprisingly sinister history. So, back in 1971, he actually debuted in McDonaldland not as this lovable buddy, but as Evil Grimace. And get this, he had 4 arms, and his main goal in life was stealing people's milkshakes. Obviously, McDonald's quickly realized that was probably terrifying to children, so in the 80s and 90s, he morphed into the friendly, smiling, 2-armed purple blob that a whole generation grew up with. Fast forward to June 2023, and they decide to celebrate his 52nd birthday with a special meal and a brand new purple shake.
Now, what really acted like throwing gas on the fire for this phenomenon was the mystery of the product itself. McDonald's deliberately kept the exact flavoring of this purple shake a secret. Their official stance was just vaguely saying it had vanilla soft serve and berry flavors. Well, that ambiguity immediately sparked intense debate. People started filming themselves tasting it, trying to figure it out, with most folks deciding it tasted like the milk left over from a bowl of Fruity Pebbles, or maybe sweet bubblegum. And honestly, this whole culture of filming taste tests laid the crucial groundwork for what happened next.
So that mystery flavor fueled this accidental, absolutely genius trend. It was originally sparked in mid-June by TikToker Austin Frazier, who goes by the Frasmaz, and he established this wonderfully absurd 3-step meme format. Step 1, you look dead into the camera, holding the drink, and politely wish Grimace a happy birthday. Step 2, you take a sip of the mysterious shake. And Step 3, hard cut to a staged horror-style crime scene where you're passed out, convulsing, or covered in purple liquid, heavily implying the mascot himself just took you out. And wow, did this viral trend escalate. It went from simple jump cuts to elaborate found footage horror masterpieces that totally dominated the summer of 2023. Fans basically started treating this like an indie film festival. They were creating mini-movies with incredible cinematography, lighting, special effects, the whole shebang. Even celebrities and actors jumped in, like Armin Nahapadian, the young star of the horror film Beau is Afraid. In this massive, expanding cinematic universe, the shake wasn't just a drink anymore. It was like this cosmic catalyst for going insane, being abducted into the woods, or just mysteriously exploding.
So here's the absolutely crucial takeaway. McDonald's had no idea this was coming. None. Their marketing team actually hesitated at first on how to react to such morbid content featuring their brand. Guillaume Huyn, the social media director over there, summed it up perfectly. He said, "This was a level of genius, creativity, and organic fun that I could never dream about or plan for. It was all from the fans." Internally, they were really debating whether acknowledging these gruesome videos was way too risky for a family-friendly brand, especially since the base campaign was already doing so well.
Ultimately, though, they realized that staying entirely silent would just make them look totally out of touch with their own audience. So they acknowledged the absurdity, and they did it perfectly with this simple, highly self-aware social media post. It was just a close-up photo of Grimace looking incredibly nervous with the caption, "Me pretending I don't see the Grimace Shake trend." It was such a brilliant move. It was a gentle nod to the fans, letting them know, hey, we see you, without stealing their thunder or corporatizing the organic horror trend.
And look, this chaotic, fan-driven meme wasn't just for laughs. It translated into massive, massive financial gains. For Q2 of 2023, Wall Street had projected a pretty healthy 9.3% sales growth, but fueled by millions of people literally rushing to buy the shake just so they could participate in the trend, the actual US growth hit 10.3% and global growth surged to 11.7%. Stores were literally running out of ice cream early in the day because the demand was just that overwhelming.
Let's zoom out for a second to really understand the psychology at play here.
The Grimace phenomenon proved the staggering power of nostalgia marketing. If you aren't familiar, this is the practice of leveraging positive, familiar memories from the past. We're talking retro toys, old jingles, or, a fuzzy purple mascot, to build emotional connections and drive modern consumer behavior. McDonald's successfully targeted millennials and Gen Z here, a demographic that's really craving comfort, social connectedness, and those familiar cultural touchstones from their youth.
And you can see this broader strategy beautifully illustrated later in 2023 with things like the Kerwin Frost Adult Happy Meal. This collaboration successfully capitalized on those exact same childhood memories. It came complete with a specially designed box and collectible figures inspired by the classic McNugget buddies from the 80s and 90s. It basically gave adults explicit permission to relive that pure excitement of getting a Happy Meal, proving that the Grimace's success wasn't a fluke. It was part of a much larger, highly effective marketing playbook. They even took this nostalgia to the extreme by launching Cosmax in Illinois. This is an entirely new drive-through beverage concept based completely around an obscure six-armed alien mascot from their 1980s commercials. By using a retro yellow and blue color scheme and bringing back a nostalgia character, they effectively lowered the perceived risk for consumers trying out a totally new brand. It was a massive, confident push into the specialty beverage market, and it was built entirely on the back of retro appeal.
Getting back to Grimace, that overwhelming U.S. success sparked an aggressive multi-year international rollout plan. The global demand was so incredibly high that McDonald's mapped out the shake's availability all the way into 2026. We're talking Canada, the UK, and Japan in 2024, then expanding to a massive list including Brazil, Turkey, and Mexico in 2025, and pushing into places like Singapore and Poland in early 2026. The world simply could not get enough of this purple sensation.
But I've gotta say, Germany took this obsession to an entirely new level for their 2026 launch. They didn't just bring over the shake, they rolled out a full, intensely vibrant purple menu entirely dedicated to the mascot. I mean, they introduced a visually jarring purple barbecue burger, complete with purple bun, purple cheese, and purple sauce, plus a purple cream cheese pie, a blueberry cake pop, and a purple dipping sauce. It's just an incredible testament to exactly how far a brand will push a viral property once they realize it has real cultural staying power.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, it really leaves us wondering about the future of advertising. In an era where consumers so clearly control the narrative, can a brand ever truly engineer its own virality from the top down? Or is the internet's unpredictable chaos actually the ultimate marketer? Because honestly, maybe the most powerful advertising strategy in the world today is simply giving the internet a mysterious purple drink, stepping out of the way, and letting the audience tell the story. Thanks for learning with me today, and keep questioning those trends you see out there.